So right now there's a lot of anxiety in the air, fear, energy, lethargy, a lot of tiredness, overwhelm, you name it, it's out there. And whatever you're feeling, just know that that is true to you right now. And I've noticed myself last week more so. I was feeling a lot of energy coming like from the outside world, a lot of fear and panic at the grocery store, social media, the news, and it made me incredibly anxious. I also had anxiety of my own, but I was also feeling that energy of the collective. So if you've been feeling that, I felt called to share this meditation with you. Um, this is an interesting type of meditation. It's called Kirtan Kriya, and it comes from the Kundalini yoga meditation. So it's a specific form of meditation that takes two components and puts them together. And I feel like this is a nice entrance point for people who aren't used to meditating, who've never meditated, who are a little skeptical of it. But also it's for seasoned meditators who want a different type of experience. So for me, if I'm in really high anxiety, I have a lot of this energy in my body that needs to be dispersed somehow. Kirtan Kriya is really helpful for me because it's a way that I can actually expel energy, where sometimes silent meditation can actually stir up a little bit more energy and I don't have an outlet for it. So kirtan is the Sanskrit word for song, and kriya is there's specific movements used to connect the mind, the body, and the emotional energy, your spirit within you, to promote a calming and healing environment. So I thought, what better time than now to just try this out? And the fun thing of it is there's no expectation for you to be silent or to hear thoughts and let them go. Like that can be a lot of work when we have a lot of things, just kind of spinning or brewing or spiraling. So this is really nice because it involves music and it involves using your voice and singing or chanting, which is a way I find personally for me to release. It's like a way to just expel some of the anxiety or energy from my body that I don't want there. So the way you're going to do it is you will be saying a mantra that's repeated. And the repeated mantra is coming from the root words Sat Nam in Sanskrit, which means my true essence. So truth is fully within me and myself. It's my identity. And you're going to use a mudra, which a mudra, if you haven't used before, is using like a finger pattern or a movement. And by using this, using a mudra, you're making connections with the brain, which helps support the calming aspect. But also there's been a lot of research on Kirtan Kriya with Alzheimer's, and there are clinical studies where they're seeing people who just did 12 minutes of this a day are able to retain more information and access memory files, which is pretty damn cool. So if anything, give it a shot, try it and see if it helps with your cognitive function. It might help you focus a little bit more. It may help with some memory things. It may just calm you. I'm not sure. I will say before we get started that when I first started trying Kirtan Kriya back in October, I didn't like it at first. It actually, I felt like, hurry up already, I'm saying the same thing, or I wasn't getting the same feeling I got out of a silent or a guided meditation. But after, it takes about 11 and a half to 12 minutes. After I went through it, I'd get about halfway through and then my body would just settle in, and it's become really useful for me. I practiced for like several weeks, days in a row. I was home for like 33 or 34 days when I was having a bad flare and I was sick with bronchitis, so I didn't leave my home for 34 days. And during that time, the only job I gave myself was just meditate every day. And many of the days it was Kirtan Kriya, and some days it was just a 1 to 5 minute silent meditation. So just know that if it doesn't feel good or feel right, or it feels a little wonky at first, maybe give it a couple, give it at least 3, 4, 5 trials before you decide if it is or isn't for you. So here's how we do it. So you're going to be in a seated position, and I prefer sitting on a cushion because you do want your hips elevated above your knees when you meditate. You can also meditate from a chair with your feet on the ground. This is just how I prefer it. And I get comfortable, pull my little butt cheeks out there so I'm nice and even. I have a straight spine, but I am not like stiff, uncomfortable, straight. Just nice, relaxed, straight spine so that energy can flow freely throughout my body. Throughout the practice, I will close my eyes, but I'm just going to teach you it now, and then you can choose to do it when you want. And so here is the mudra that you'll use. You will start with your palms will be up ultimately, and your thumb is going to touch your pointer finger, and that's when you say sa. So it's just sa, and then your thumb will touch your middle finger, ta, ring finger, na, ma. That is all there is to it. So it's just going through a pattern, and you'll find your fingers, your mudra is just moving slowly like this throughout for about 11 and a half minutes. And you will use your singing voice. So for 2 minutes, you actually sing the pitches. Sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma. And that continues for 2 minutes. Easy, right? And you want to use a nice strong voice. I'm not yelling, I'm using a normal voice, but it's not sheepish. It's nice and it's strong, like there's a strength coming from within me. And then for 2 minutes, you end up whispering. Sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma. And then for about 3.5 to 4 minutes, you actually verbalize it in your head. So it's like, what's that? Audiation, right? You're saying it in your head, you're singing it, but it's silent. And then the process reverses. And then you whisper for 2 minutes, and then you sing again for 2 minutes, or chant. And so the whole process itself takes about 11 and a half minutes. And there's a recording that I'm going to share a link to in the comments below, wherever they go. I'll share a link for a recording on Spotify so that you can do it. So you don't have to look at a timer. Was that 2 minutes? You just tune out. There's a woman who's singing with you, and then she whispers, and then it's silent. And there's a little chime that tells you when it's time to change to the next thing. So it's pretty easy using that. And sa, ta, na, ma, right, like we said, comes from sat nam, which is your true essence. Sa, ta, nam, is the cycle of life. So sa is infinity, can also be birth. Na is going to be life, ta is life, na is death, and ma is birth. So it's a full cycle of life. And what's been found is that chanting these specific sounds and these specific Sanskrit words, it's tapping into acupuncture, acupressure points in the upper palate. And those are what are communicating with your brain. And then when you're doing that in conjunction with the mudras, that's when you're getting blood flowing. So it's a motor sensory thing. So it's going to the part of the brain that wants to be enhanced or recalled or focused. So it's a beautiful practice. If anything, it gets you to breathe. You might find yourself a little out of breath if you're not used to singing or chanting. It's fine. Catch your breath, jump back in. But yeah, just breathing and listening to music, singing to music, keeping your body relaxed. All of these things reduce stress, and reducing stress, we all know, is a wonderful thing. So I encourage you to try this and let me know how you like Kirtan Kriya. And if you have little ones at home, have them try it with you. Maybe they only do part of it if they get a little antsy, but I think the singing aspect will actually keep them engaged more than sitting quietly in meditation. So try it out. Let me know how you like it. And